All right. Peace, 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 family. Here we are. It's my supernatural life cooking with Candace. Candace is back. Candace, say hi to the people.
Hey family, I've missed y'all. I have. I've been around. I've been
Yes,
hardly home, always repping.
always. Okay. So here we are. We are all about just providing care to the people via coaching, creativity, and community. So when I think about community, I think about having a meal. I think about sitting down, all together, having a good time. What comes to mind when you think of community? Yeah.
For me, community is definitely food based because I love to cook. That's my, if there was a sixth love language, I think it should be food.
Food. Yes.
I'm very old school auntie or granny in that way. If you come by, you ate yet? I want to make sure people are taken care of, and that's the way I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So music, where there's music and food, that's community for me.
Ooh, yes, I love it. Bring the music, bring the food. We got community. So here we go. You bringing the food. I don't really have no music prepared, but maybe I'll sing a little ditty while we a little, something. We'll see.
All right.
So here we go. Jambalaya. Jambalaya. Why are we doing that today?
Well, we're doing jambalaya for just to celebrate some like Black foods that are just yummy to the tummy. Jambalaya, it's a Creole dish that was birthed in New Orleans, but
Yes.
the roots are in jollof rice, which is
Yep.
my African brethren and sistren will tell you, oh, Nigerians have the best jollof rice, or Ghanaians
Yeah.
have the best jollof rice. I don't know, but I
That's
know my
right.
jambalaya pop makes. So that's what I do know.
That's real. Yeah. And I read up on like the Caribbean influence and the
Mhm.
Spanish influence. And,
Right.
it's just a big old melting pot of spices and deliciousness.
Right.
Kind of tomato basedy.
Yeah, tomato base. I make mine with chicken, sausage, and shrimp. That's how I eat mine.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so also the idea behind it, as I thought about Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day. It talks about 4th of July, uh all of us Black folk weren't free, and so Juneteenth, we celebrated on June 19th, commemorating June 19th 1865, when the announcement went forth by the Union Army, proclaiming freedom for enslaved folks in Texas. So our folks in
Right.
Texas
That were illegally kept in bondage.
exactly. Yeah. So we still experiencing some illegal keeping happening, but in
We can come
honor of
back to that.
we don't gotta go that deep today. We're gonna try and keep it light and celebratory. And
Mhm.
so we're making jambalaya and diving into this history to get today.
All right. So we ready to get started?
Yes,
It's
I'm ready.
go to my hands, and I'll talk you all through it as I'm working. It's I won't say it's a labor intensive meal. It's super easy. As far as difficulty, I'd say maybe a 6 on a scale of 10, but maximum yum factor, just ooh, like probably one of the first meals I learned how to cook as a kid. And
Oh wow.
yeah, slayed. So I believe in you. I was doing it at 11. You can do it. And you don't, if you just follow this step by step, you'll be fine. And I will tell you variations of how I know other people have done it, or how I was taught and what I've started to do instead. So let's get started. All right. So I'm starting with defrosted chicken thighs. I chose chicken thighs because that's my favorite cut of meat. And the chicken thigh is juicy, it's fatty, and some people say it's virtually indestructible. And it's okay for it to be next to this because this is all getting cooked. What you want to do is you can either, make your own Creole mix or buy like Tony Satchery, Lowry seasoned salt. We like Cajun's Choice in this house because, can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We like Cajun's Choice in this house because it's low sodium and we want to be sodium conscious. So I'm just going to season this sort of. You'll notice that almost everything that goes into jambalaya is going to be seasoned. So we have to be very conscious of how much seasoning and salt we're using. So I like the meat with the bone in it because bone does provide flavor. The skin fat is where flavor is as well. Some people do prefer to use boneless, skinless chicken breast. Not my jam, but more power to you if that's what you choose to do. So I'm going to add this to a hot skillet, skin side down, because I like to get a good amount of crisp on my chicken. Just so it won't turn into like a mushy mess. And what I have here already sliced up is pork andouille. If you live in an area that has like a poultry andouille, grab it. Some people use hot links. I'll be honest, I use hot links before getting hip to the game. You do want to be, excuse me, you want to watch your stuff and make sure that you don't allow anything to burn, because there are several levels and layers to this dish. And it's easy if you burn one thing and you put it in with the rest of the things, your whole pot will taste burnt. But trust me, I believe y'all have it. It's easy, lemon squeezy, I think. So with this, the chicken, we don't want to cook it all the way because it is going to be still cooking with the other things once everything comes together. We just want to get it nice and brown. And you'll see why I like my skin crispy. I'm one of those people who believe that you eat with your eyes first. If it doesn't look very tasty or at least interesting, nobody's gonna want to eat your food. Yeah. Yanni, have I ever made jambalaya for you?
Tell me again.
Have I ever made jambalaya for you?
No, I would remember. I will remember. Now, for me, it's the cooking of the rice that's an issue. Any pointers on, how to get a slamming rice going? You talked about burning stuff, and I am notorious for burning the rice. What do I do?
Rice should be cooked at 2 to 1. So 1 part rice, 2 part water. However much rice you're cooking, you should double that in water.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
And with jambalaya, you want parboiled rice. So it'll still be kind of hard. It'll be edible, but not fun to eat. Can you see that? So
yeah.
It's edible, but not fun to eat because we're going to continue cooking it with all the flavors that we're building so it can get absorbed into the rice.
Yeah. Good to know.
You see how the chicken skin has gotten nice and golden brown? That's what we want. I'm actually going to let this kind of work its way down. I've already cut up it's called the Holy Trinity. onion, bell pepper, and celery.
Yeah, I saw that Holy Trinity information too.
A lot of Creole dishes have the Holy Trinity in it. Jambalaya, gumbo, shrimp Creole,
Yeah,
etouffee.
etouffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All variations, you know,
Right.
on that Creole goodness.
Mm-hmm. So you see, I mean, you can buy if you're fortunate enough to have a big box grocery store. I know I saw it in the South, not as much here. You can find a pre-chopped Holy Trinity. Now, what's important is that you try to keep it dry. I'm not giving you all the best example because I used a different size bell pepper for the red and yellow. But try to keep it the same size so that when you bite into it, you're not often getting surprises. Now, traditionally, jambalaya is not an uncomfortably spicy meal, but it's a spicy meal. And you can tone it down or tone it up as much as you'd like. I prefer, well, we like spice in my house. I prefer white pepper to cayenne pepper. White pepper is a whole mouth hot versus cayenne is just a tongue hot for me. And most people, I like to engage the entire mouth when we're talking heat. So you don't have to like your way through your meal. So I'm the chicken's about maybe 40% of the way cooked. My skin is nice and crunchy like I want it. Then I'm gonna go in. Oh, that's what I want to tell you guys. So when cooking jambalaya, I usually do 2 pieces of chicken per person I'm serving. Now, as a lot of us subconsciously know, things with tomatoes taste better the longer they sit. And with that being true, you know, you want at least one day of leftovers with spaghetti, with jambalaya, gumbo, things with tomato sauce or tomato chunks. You want, you know, the next day. Whew, you thought the first day was good. That second day is going to be good. So I put the andouille sausage in the same skillet or cooking pan, and I'm just going to let it kind of render down. And then I'm going to put the Holy Trinity in. The reason why I do the andouille sausage first is just so that great sausagey flavor can get in the grease that was already in the pan for the chicken and just kind of flavor. The one thing about the Holy Trinity, I will say, it both lends itself to absorbing flavor and also being an aromatic. So it will make things tastier and also absorb the flavors. So as that pot hushes, it's gonna let that work itself down for a little bit. We can actually put the chicken back in. I don't even know why. Yeah, I'm gonna put the chicken back in, cover it. I feel like that's one of the most important parts about jambalaya is trying to keep it covered when you can, so it doesn't, you know, so it can retain its juices and won't, you know, lose flavor to bacon. Going in with the I don't know why green onion isn't considered part of the Holy Trinity because it's oftentimes found in Cajun and Creole cooking. I love green onion. It's such a mild onion. I'm just giving it a pretty, not very rustic chop, but you know, you don't have to be super detail oriented. And I do like it to stand up to cooking. Because green onion is one of those guys that will disintegrate. It's not the strongest onion in the onion family. If you have shallots, you can use shallots. Oh, and I do think it's important to say, I use a yellow onion for this, as that's the best stewing onion. I think I talked to you guys about that when I made the chicken tortilla soup. I use the stewing onion just because it stands up well. Red onion does pretty well in this, and as does, those are the two I use. Okay. So, you know what? We're going to take our parboiled rice. We're going to add it to this, and then you'll find where it's going to cook more. About a cup of rice per person. So you see how much food we already have. 1 to 2 pieces of meat per person, 1 sausage per person, half a bell pepper per person, a quarter onion per person. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my par cooked rice, which polished par cooked is about 2 cups, just because I do want leftovers. To this, another layer of flavor we're gonna add is unsalted chicken stock. And why it's important to use unsalted is because we want flavor. And a lot of people think sodium equals flavor, but sodium also equals high blood pressure, which can lead to other problems and inflammation. And, you know, we need to be more conscious of that. So I'm just gonna pour this in here so that the rice can absorb it and cook up. I'm gonna stir it up. Stir it up. I hope we don't have to pay anybody for that. But just gonna stir this up. Make sure everything's fully integrated. I'll show you guys where I am now. The heat is on high still, but not the highest high. So like medium high. Yikes. So can y'all see that? That's where we are right now. And that's just with the chicken stock in for it to cook. Okay. And I'm gonna add a small can of tomato sauce. If you want to get jiggy and get the one that's like flavored or whatever, you can do that. But there's just no need for it. Like sometimes tomato sauces come with like oregano, garlic, or stuff like that. Speaking of garlic, I forgot to add my garlic. So, speaking of jiggy, this has garlic, basil, and oregano in here. And you might say, well, that sounds mighty Italian, Candace. Creole food is a mixture of Italian, Spanish, African, Caribbean foods. Stir it up so we can get a very, and I know you guys might be thinking, oh, that looks like a soup. Not once the juices get absorbed by the rice, it won't. So we're just gonna let it do its thing, keeping it on high. So you saw I sliced 2 green onions. I'm going to reserve half for garnish, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Cover it, let it cook to a boil. Okay. Garlic. Using a pretty decent size of garlic. Just, well, let me put y'all back. I'm sorry. So a pretty decent sized garlic. I don't have a garlic press just because I have enough kitchen gadgets and it's not my jam. I press on it to kind of bust it open to get that paper off of it. You can use minced garlic that comes in like a jar. My roommate's choosing. It's like, I want fresh garlic. I'm just gonna give it the best chop I can. I'm a great cook, not a great knife woman. The reason why I'm smushing it is that it'll kind of make up for the fact that I could have chopped this a little finer, and it'll kind of disintegrate as this cooks along. Let's spice it up. At this point, you would add just like the pinchiest pinch of salt. Tomato loves salt. It just does. And you can cayenne pepper to taste. Now, mind you, you can't taste till you think your chicken's cooked, as you don't want to make yourself ill. So I'll pour it into my hand. This, for like somebody who's not like a spicy spice lover, would be enough. But and then that's the cayenne, and then of the white pepper, that will be enough. But we're not those people, so I'll actually be adding more. Some people like to add like a fresh hot pepper, like a jalapeno or serrano pepper, poblano. But poblano is smokier than it is hot. I just think that that is the most. You don't always have to do the most. You could add crushed red pepper. I think that's doing a good amount of work. So as your dish begins to absorb, it'll look like this. And while you still have a good amount of fluid in there, but just enough for it to slide about, that's when you add your shrimp. These shrimp are 17 to 20 count, which means in 1 pound, there will be 17 to 20 count shrimp. And the reason why I leave the tail on is because there's flavor caught up in there. You want to make sure it's deveined. I take the shell off, leave the tail on. Okay. Now let's talk about garnish. Excuse me. Oh, the pepper finally got me. Paprika. I'm missing paprika. Paprika is in Cajun seasoning. All Cajun seasoning really is seasoned salt with extra paprika and cayenne. This is flat leaf parsley. You can use curly leaf if that's your jam. I just like flat leaf parsley a little bit more. It has almost like a dare I say lemony? I just prefer flat leaf parsley. I think it has a brighter, more robust flavor, and it really complements the seafood element. Oh, that's another seasoning you could use. I'll be back. Just gonna pour some paprika liberally in here. Paprika adds a smoky element. They do make a spicy Hungarian paprika. That's my jam. Smoky is one of my favorite flavors because most people can handle it. I don't know what else I need over there. All right, it's time to give a good chop to this parsley. So I'm gonna chop it both this way and that way. Just because you don't want a crazy amount. You know, you don't want it to get stuck in you or your guest Keith. You think you're cute and now you're not. Something like that. All right, so this is actually double the amount. You just need a 5-finger pinch, a chef's kiss pinch of it. I like to put some in while I'm cooking and to garnish. It's time to stir it up again. A lot of people think stirring rice while it's cooking is sacrilegious. I'm not one of those people. It's starting to smell real good in here. You can use powdered garlic if you'd like. We're pro garlic in this home. So I like little diamond.
Music and cooking. Da-dum, dum, dum, da-dum, dum, dum. Stir it up.
You'll notice that a lot of my seasonings are very big. There's some people who say, oh, it will go bad before you get to use it all. When seasonings go bad, it's not like they go rank. It will just need a little bit more of it. But I'm a heavy-handed seasoner, especially because I'm timid-handed with the salt. I have to go kind of banana with the other flavors. I think cooking with fresh herbs is really important. Y'all ready for the big unveil?
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. We ready?
All right. I think I should let the steam. I think I should get it good for you. Little darling.
Stir it up.
You know what I really did forget though?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I forgot.
You about to hit him with the bam real quick.
Bay leaf. Bay leaf is so important. Bay leaf, it just,
yeah.
Some people say it's like a floral note, but it helps your meat get tender. It's just, you can tell if you are a foodie, you can tell when bay leaf is missing in curry and gum. You can tell when it's missing. So you want to put it in there. You don't want to serve it. Now in my family, if you do get a bay leaf, you get some money, which helps. That helps the cook remember fish all those bay leaves out because the money comes from the cook. So, oh man, I forgot to do the big unveil. Maybe. Okay, once it starts to dry up, that's what it'll look like.
Nice.
And then we want to just put a little extra flat leaf parsley and green onion. I like a little crunch when I'm eating. That's my jam. Just a little bit of crunch. And don't worry about those shrimp. They're cooked and they're gonna taste great. You can flip them over before you serve them so it doesn't look like you're serving plain shrimp. I do not recommend going in with your hands like I did, but I'm cooking for me. All right, let's plate.
Yes, here we go.
Well, may remember I love a plove. which is a plated bowl, just so it can give a little bit of depth. Hold your food. You can kind of push around and fish out what you really, really want in that moment. And they present really beautifully.
Yeah.
This pepper is getting me. All right. So what I do is put the star in the middle. Yeah. Well, okay. We can go in with the rice. Oh, you see a bay leaf there. I'm not paying nobody, not even myself.
Put it in savings. Pay yourself. Put it in savings.
Chicken. Boom. Boom. A little bit more for beauty.
Make some, I mean, you're not a baker though, right? You're not big on baking.
No, I'm not. It's just like, because I think with cooking, you have more creative license. And
yeah, that's true.
Baking, if you don't put enough blah, 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 it's not going to hold. It's not going to set up.
It's so unforgiving. Yeah, I was just in New Orleans a couple weeks ago. And I definitely didn't have any beignets while I was there.
Are you crazy?
I know. I was so consumed with all the food. I said, I'm never eating a fried shrimp ever again in my life. Oh, no more catfish, no more shrimp, none of it ever again.
And
except if I had that bowl in front of me.
You'd be with it?
Yeah.
That's Chef Candace's super easy jambalaya. I think if you can make a pack of noodles, you can make this. I do. I truly believe that. Oh, and then you can remix it. You can put it on pasta. Like if you get no bone meat, chop it up, and I've made it on pasta. People lose their mind. What's that restaurant in Atlanta that was big when we were in college?
Pappadeaux,
Copeland's. They all have a jambalaya pasta.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, so there's that, and we're done.
Wow! Yay! Thank you so much.
That was time, y'all. That is not a hard meal at all.
Not at all. It was maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, if that.
What I like to do is chop my vegetables before work, so that in my mind, because I work an 8-hour day, in my mind, it's not like, ugh, gotta go home and cook. It's like, really, all you got to do is pour the stuff in the stuff and then make the stuff.
Yeah, the stuff is done.
Right.
I dig it. Wow. Thank you so much for this segment of Cooking with Candace.
You're very welcome.
You. Everybody head on over to my supernaturallife.org, make a donation so we can get Candace back some more. We can get some ASL going. We can get these coaches lined up for folks. Be peace, no peace, live peace. Yanni out.
Bye. Stop recording.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Oh, yeah.